Hey guys, a few weeks ago I solved the Rubik's Cube blindfolded in 13.22 seconds in competition, which is the new European record. And today I'll be showing you how I did it. So here's the scramble that I got. I'll assume that you know more or less how 3-style works. So the first thing I do is go in my orientation, which is white top, green front, and these are my primary buffers. So I start tracing from this buffer, and I use the Spatz lettering scheme. So it goes O, I, and this is, you can see that this is my buffer. So I'm back to my buffer, and usually when that happens, you would do a cycle break. But when you're a bit more advanced, what you can do is just, because this buffer is solved, you just switch buffers and it's going to be more efficient. So I went to my next buffer that's not solved, which is this one. And so I use this as my buffer for the rest of corners. And so it goes X, E, and again, this is back to my buffer, and that's it for the corners. So it's only 2 corner arcs, which is very lucky. I mean, pretty much when you get 2 corner arcs, you could get like the worst edges ever, and it'll still be a really good scramble. So I already know that at this point, I already know that this is a good scramble, and I need to stay focused. And so I start tracing edges immediately from this piece. So AH, VK, LT, G, and this is my buffer again, but this time, because 3-style solves pieces, 2 pieces at a time, this won't actually be solved because it's the first target of the letter pair. So I can't just solve this independently. I have to do a cycle break here. And because I've done so many 3-blind solves at this point, I can just look at the cube and know exactly which pieces remain to be solved. So there's this one and this one, as well as this flip right here. That's all the pieces that we haven't gone through. And even, instead of just memorizing something, I just remember what that looks like, and I just put the blindfold on right away. And I'll just figure it out during execution. So I start by executing my edges. So first com is AH, very simple com. I'll show you all the finger tricks. Then VK, there's a cancellation here, but I don't remember whether I did it or not. Like usually you do U prime and then U, but you can cancel, but no idea if I did it or not during the solve. And LT goes like this. And then here, I have to choose where to cycle break. So I have 6 possibilities, and the solution that I went for, I think, isn't necessarily the best, but it was like the most straightforward in my opinion. So first I have to make a choice between like solving, well, like breaking into this kind of 2-swap thing or breaking into the flip. And I chose to break into the flip because when you break into flips in between cycles like this, it's easier to like do the like you have less mental gymnastics to do than if you break into the flip in the middle of a cycle, because here I can just break one side of flip, other side of flip, and then solve this normally. Whereas if I broke here something and I went here and then the flip, I have to remember that because I flipped, I have to end on the other side of the target. Like instead of going DGE, I would do DG, the flip, and then back to D because there's a flip in between. And that's, like, I've done that thousands of times, so it's completely fine for me to do. But when I have the option of breaking into flips in between cycles rather than in the middle of a cycle, I usually do it. So here I have two choices. So I've chosen to break it to the flip, and I have two choices, either here or here. And both combs are really good, but I think this one's a bit better, and that's what I did. So like this. And then here from M, I have 4 options. And the one that I chose is probably the 3rd best one in my opinion out of 4. So not the greatest, but the thing is, from this, the best commutator from M is going to D. And that's what I did. But it leaves with a com afterwards that's not as good. So, like, if I had taken into account both of the coms that I would get, I would have broke, I think, to E to get PD. Or MPDG is also a pretty good option. But I was just going with, like, the most linear thing that I could think of. And so I broke to D, which is a very good com, followed by a com that's not as good, especially since you end on S prime and you have to reload your finger and do S prime again. But, like, these are all completely fine options. It's just that maybe if I had done slightly different choices in that part, I probably could have saved, like, the few tenth of a seconds to get a 12. But that's just for another time. And so here I'm left with 2 corner cycles. I can do them in either order. Pretty sure I did the UFR one first, which I think is just because that's the order I memorized them in. I think if you really want to optimize things, you end on an S, so it's just better to do an R from that position than to do a U, because your finger is not really ready to do a U. So I think I did the right choice, because this from this buffer starts with a U, whereas this one starts with R. So it goes like this, regrip here, and then this is the floating valve. And that's it. Yeah, so this ranks me 3rd in the world. Unfortunately, there's no video of the solve. But I'm pretty confident that I'll beat it in the future, so that's fine. As for, like, what I was thinking during the solve and stuff, as usual, I would say when I get an arch single, I was really not expecting it. This was the first solve of the round, and I was thinking that I would try to safety for the European record average. It was the exact same thing when I beat my other ER single, and pretty much all of my other NRs. And I ended up getting a really good scramble, and just getting the ER single, and then I couldn't focus for the rest of the round, because there's just, like, so much pressure when you start with 13 to keep solving normally for the rest of the round, but that's okay. I was pretty lucky to get to third place in the world because um, the the fourth place is 13:24, so just barely slower than my time, and second place is 12 flat. So I did just good enough for third place in the world, and yeah, I'm really happy with this. So yeah.